So I would like to ask one question. Where is the energy that was from all the haters in Withering Waves? Where are they for Zenless Zone Zero? And at the end of the video, I think we will try to answer this question, where they have gone and why there is no energy for it. So let me take you on a small tour. So when we look at Zenless Zone Zero optimizations and stuff like that, bugs, we hardly find any videos about it, or not even the how to fix it. There are very, very few videos about this. But when we look at the Withering Waves ones, they are in rows and rows. There's so many damn videos about this that it's actually kind of insane. So clearly everyone, if you remember, were all over the place for everything about Withering Waves. Like even the tiniest bug or problem, people were talking about it for what, the first week or 2 weeks? Even after half the stuff got fixed. And even streamers have had problems with this game. I'll just show a small clip of one of them.
I am not saying this because I have a gun to my head. I'm alone in my room and I am not being held hostage or forced to say anything. The UI of the game. Oh my god, my model's lagging too! God damn! How much CPU is it? The fucking Jesus Christ. Literally, Zenless Zone Zero is like the memory usage on this game. Does this have a memory leak? That whole area is just a fucking memory sinkhole. Like, what the hell? Taking up 17%. Jeez. Amount, like 2,500 here. When I was in that other area, it was like 4,000. You're not the only one with that problem? Oh, I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure I'm not.
And it's not only streamers that have problems. And see here that one guy on the launch of the game, he had some minor issues, one could say. And my own experience have been fairly good, but also a bit of lag, a single crash, a little bit of that. And as you just saw in the clip earlier, other people mentioning this on streams multiple times, but no one really bothers to make any video about it or anything. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just put up a video too, documenting some of these silly things. So let's jump to the actual bugs that O.R.A.R themselves have said. Fixed an issue that caused the game to crash when going through fissures and shield defense on some devices. Seems like there's some Lucy ultimates that's not functioning as intended. Doing some agent story commissions where the camera function cannot correctly recognize the target. Fixed an issue where under certain circumstances the days calculations on some agent skills was incorrect. Yeah. Other fixes are as follows. Fixed an issue where under certain circumstances the Gaze of Stars series of combat commission cannot be unlocked. Fixed an issue where under certain circumstances story commission Invisible Assistant cannot be unlocked. Fixed an issue where under certain circumstances the commission in chapter 2 blah blah blah, yeah, cannot be completed. Another one that cannot be completed. Ah, tutorial bug. That's great. Coleda's trust event problems. Zone that cannot be ended doing story. Yeah. Sukaku's core skill, core passive differ from the description. Oh no. No other game have had description issues. Yeah. Wonder. Frame rate instability in Lumina Square on some PC devices. Some. It seems to be quite good PCs that have that issue too, so that's a problem. There is a lot of stuff here. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother reading through the remaining of these. Holy shit. So, if anyone doubts that this game have had problems, I think they're completely fucking delusional. Cause even Hoyo says they have fixed fucking 80 things that can affect gameplay experience. So, yeah, that does not sound great. So yeah, here we have the Sukaku issue compensation message. The issue of her core skill, the core passive blade banner, differs from the description, has been fixed. For this we got 100, and you need what, 160 for a pull, so that's like 0.6 of a pull or something like that. That's not a lot. This, like, the skill description, that's rather important if you're investing into characters, spending limited resources, is it not? And then we have the cylinder, big cylinder weapon, and when equipped on Ben, it apparently didn't work as intended. So yeah, that's not great either. Another one. So the effective range of the weapon skill was incorrect and has been fixed. I mean, Withering Waves, everyone was talking about suing them because they fucked up a Japanese translation. Yeah, we are more than happy, oh so happy, for all these issues, and we get, what, 2? We get 1, almost 2 polls out of it? And then that's over, no big deal, right? They fixed it. What if people invested resources, time, or they wanted more copies of some of these? Especially like Sukaku, right? That's like the main ice support for Ellen, which is the featured character. So I could see people, pulling extra for her. And then the description is not correct. It seems like a major problem. No one gives a shit, apparently. So let's take a look at the optimization and the loading screens for Withering Waves first, because that's the shorter one. There isn't a lot of loading screens in the game, because the majority of what you're doing is open world, except for when you're doing your dailies or in the middle of a story. So you have a small loading screen when you teleport, and then you have one when you enter a domain to do your dailies, and then you have one when you get out again. And that's it for Withering Waves. For ZZZ, on the other hand, it's you entering the video store because you just picked up a commission. Then you have your another loading screen into a loading screen, which is a little bit odd, into dialogue, which you can't skip, into more pop-ups. You have to turn on the go fast for every new one, and every small interaction you're doing, it stops you from moving or doing anything. And that's kind of the big problem with TVs. There's so much stuff that should be very easy to do, but it just takes forever to get done. And then of course when you actually get into combat too, you have another loading screen from this menu. Into the loading animation, which is a little bit tiresome after quite a lot of hours in the game. Then you have the outro. It's okay. But yeah. And then you of course have the loading screen when you get out again. And it's fine having the load in and load out. It is instance after all. I'm sure that it has to load something. But now that you're done with your commission, you're going to your next one, which is again another loading screen. But then the question becomes, why is there even a loading screen between all these smaller instances? Because the game actually requires quite a lot to run. I don't think people realize how brutal this is. When you compare it, ZZZ to Withering Waves, like, you can clearly see that when they're both idling, you're standing around doing nothing, that the CPU and memory is almost identical. Sure, the memory is a bit higher for Withering Waves, but that's also an open world game. Like, they shouldn't be near each other. And this is ZZZ at its lowest. This is in the smallest instance you can stand in, with the least amount of things to do. If you were to compare it to Lumina Square, where people are having the big problems, if you're just standing around in there, it's almost twice as high in the memory, if not higher. That's kind of odd. It should not be that poorly optimized for an instant game. And if you ask me, you should be able to walk in and out of that video store without having to load anything. Why is there even a loading screen there? With the amount of memory being used in such a tiny instance, why is there a 3 or 5 second loading screen? That's ridiculous. So the question that I asked in the beginning, where is the energy that was from Withering Waves getting shit on for every single little small thing? Where's that in Zenless Zone Zero? And don't get me wrong, it's not because Zenless Zone Zero is a bad game. I just wish the energy was there. Because why are we not complaining about all the problems and optimization issues this game have, but we did it with the other one? I mean, it's good when we complain about them. Let it known that all these issues are there. And at least Coro Games, they compensated us quite heavily from a lot of the problems there were there. Whereas in Zenless Zone Zero, we have gotten, what is it, 2 polls combined? Something like that, 3 polls combined from all the issues? That's next to nothing. That's next to nothing. You're lucky if you get a 4-star out of that. Where is the energy? Why is no one complaining? It's Hoyo Games. It's one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. I just wish the energy was there to complain about the stuff. It can be the best game ever, but if you don't call out when there's shit everywhere, then they will just keep doing shit, making shit. Can it be because everyone that was raging about it in Wuthering Waves, can it be because all of those people were the Hoyo shills? Is that why? Because they're so invested in Hoyo Games that now when all the problems are in their game again, they suddenly are not as loud anymore. Now the entire conversations are focused around, oh, you don't like this, or I think this is great. You either get hate for liking the game, or you get hate for hating the game. But no one is actually talking about things that everyone can agree on, that bugs and optimizations should be better. Well, have a good one. See you in the next video.